Okay, it's May 21st, 2014. Just kind of a little update on the garden, what I've been doing. It's my corn. It's well, my tomatoes are about 3 feet. They actually are 3 feet, a little over 3 feet tall. So as you can tell, the corn is on its way to being 3 feet tall, and my peas are about 2.5 foot tall. And putting on peas like crazy, which is good. I got squash coming out of my ears, which is good. I'm very happy. I feel blessed. Always working hard. I gave my tomatoes a little shot of some calcium the other day. I saw a green tomato with what looked like blossom end rot, so hopefully I can nip that in the butt. I may have to buy some Can 17 from my work so I can inject it into my either Can 17 or CN9. Probably CN9. I don't want a whole lot of nitrogen, I just want the calcium. Anyways, corn's looking okay. Next time I water it again, I'll fertilize it again. I hoed weeds in it the other day, so it's all cleaned up in there. So my tomatoes are looking good. I did a third rope there, but I haven't done one here yet. I'm just kind of falling behind. Those, I need to pull them out. They're done. I didn't get a whole lot of spinach off of them, but that's what happens when it gets hot. They bolt. Those onions, as you can tell, getting pretty big, and they're staying nice and green. Tops ain't falling over, which I'm liking. Those ones, tops are starting to fall. Not looking so green. A lot of broken leaves. I don't know if it was cat jumping in and out of there, but there's a few decent onions in there. Nothing huge, but there's one big one in the back. Those onions, I don't know yet. Some of our own seed. But I'm pleased, and my pole beans, they're starting to pop up, slowly but surely. You'll start to see that row get green, and my bush beans are looking okay. I gotta water them and fertilize them again. And I planted random volunteer tomatoes that I pulled up. I just put them in the bald spots because, I can't stand to have anything looking bare. And my squash, they're looking pretty good. My okra is kind of small. When I fertilize it again, I need to really pour the fertilizer to it. I may sprinkle some triple 15 around it to try and help it a little bit, and then again, this spot's still bare. I was thinking put watermelons and pumpkins here, but I'm just going to preserve this solely just for pumpkins, just for giant pumpkins. And I'll be planting them at the end of this month, beginning of June. So that way they have probably the beginning of June. It might be the middle of June, I don't know. We'll see. Because they only need 120 days to harvest. But I probably should plant them the end of this month. And that way it gives them like 150 days, even though it takes 120 days, but by the time they sprout and stuff. And I'm gonna have Atlantic Giant, Prize Winner, and Big Macs. I'll probably have 3 or 4 hills with those in it. Oh, it's a mess. But anyways, I'll walk over here. I did some work over here today. I finally pulled up all the grass that was growing there. More like weeds. It's not really grass. It's that stuff there. Put a valve there so now I can kill these onions. Shut the water off to them. Cucumbers are looking really good. I think I might like this variety. I will say this, they produce cucumbers like crazy. I've never grown a cucumber plant that puts out this many cucumbers. And my peppers are getting bigger, looking better. Cayenne's starting to put on a few blooms. You can see them. Even my peppercini is starting to put on blooms. I think even the jalapenos, I'm starting to see what looks like tiny blooms in the center of those. Anyways, I planted my one giant watermelon that sprouted in there. That's a cauliflower volunteer crimson sweet watermelon. And that's what I did today. I finally put in the drip line that I've been saying I needed to be doing friggin' 4 weeks ago. And yes, my broccoli and cabbage leaves have quite a few holes and look like somebody shot them with a shotgun, but it's cabbage looper, and they may not turn out worth a darn, but I'm not really worried about it. Summertime isn't really exactly the season to be growing cool weather crops, which is why the bugs are out, because it's warm. You don't have that problem in the wintertime. It's too cold for them, but the plant still lives. Volunteer, volunteer, volunteer. And here I didn't run a drip line, but I'm running a soaker hose. I just shut off all the micros because I'm tired of watering the weeds. And I just ran the soaker hose up, turned it around, and it came about right there. So it's about 25 foot to the end of the row and back. It's probably like 27 feet, but or a 30-foot row figure roughly. But it works really well. If I had thought of this before, it's $13 for the hose. It takes a hose fitting. If you were really anal, you could get a male-to-male and get a half-inch hose to throw a female hose thread, and you could actually run that line off that tee if I really wanted to, but I don't want to, and my system is not that. But if you're a home gardener and you're thinking about getting into gardening, and you don't want to put a lot of money into it, and you just want to, you want something simple, not too complicated, you don't take long vacation trips, you're not gone, or work crazy schedules, or work 50-60 hours a week and don't have any time, then I would say get a soaker hose or two, depending on how many rows you got. Say you had 2 50-foot rows of stuff, you put 2 50-foot soaker hoses hooked up to a Y, and then hooked to a main line, and then all you need yourself is just a little either electric timer if you want to get fancy, or a little dial timer like I used last year. And whenever you have time, you walk out, you just turn it on for 2 hours, let it run, and it'll, you can run the hose at full blast and it soaks nice and evenly. I mean, you can walk up this little span here and you can just see the whole thing is soaked, both sides. I mean, just nice deep watering. So soaker hose is a good ideal, for small gardens. For a garden like mine, $13 a hose. I mean, 7 hoses right there, that's 50 foot, or did I say 50, or it's about 40 foot, so about 1 hose per those rows. I mean, that's 7 hoses, that's like almost $100-something, and you can buy the hose cheap. It's the drippers that get you, it's the emitters. But right there on each one, I probably have, I think, about say 80 drippers, which cost about $8 for that, and the hose is less than that, so it's actually cheaper for me to do that than it would be the soaker hose. But so anyways, those are volunteer tomatoes, and I decided to plant my volunteer melons. They got bigger, I started getting the true leaves, figured put them in the ground, and I put a drip line in between my carrots, so now they'll get fertilizer they need and water, sufficient water, because actually that back row is a lot smaller than this row, because the sprinkler was throwing water on these but not getting them. Anyways, my potatoes are looking okay. I think maybe I might need to possibly water them a little more. I'm not sure. I actually got a volunteer watermelon back there and composter and junk. So, but anyways, everything seems to be doing okay. Like I said, take it one day at a time and just keep on trying. You live and learn. Like this little 1/4-inch soaker hose. Honestly, I think for $7, you get 50 feet of it. I cut it up, see, but the only thing is you have to work on reducing your pressure, because it won't work on high pressure system, which is why I have the valve down there that chokes it. Chokes the high pressure coming in. It doesn't really choke the pressure, it chokes the volume. It needs low volume, either low volume high pressure, or high volume low pressure will work, I guess, I suppose. I don't know. I'm doing volume. I figure it's not the volume that it's not putting out, but it works that way. And for $8, 50 feet, I mean, I could set up that system. I'd do a little different than what I did there. That was just quick thinking, look, a wire at the end. I didn't have any hose ends clamped, so. But I mean, I could set up a 50-foot row easy, of like 6 rows, wide, or not 6 rows wide, but this is 1, 2, 3, 4. I could do 4 rows of onions, 50 feet for fairly cheap, and I actually like the way it waters, It waters it efficiently, deeply, and it soaks the whole ground, which is great, which onions need. So, and I inject the fertilizer through it, and they're doing quite well. So, and I'm pleased with how they're doing. So, anyways, that concludes my rambling for today. I'll check back in later on when I got new things going on in the garden. Alright, I'll see you guys later.